Hello, welcome to Ikate's Crossing. Okay, so taking a moment to sort of take a breath, and I just got the Shadowscape Tarot in. You may have seen the flip through of it. So let's just grab the Shadowscape Tarot out. Now I've got a few different fairy decks that you can find on my Bib library, if you like, on my cataloguing of decks, or you can see the unboxings of Forhaxa, Labyrinth, Lord of the Rings, Circle of Life Tarot. Maybe you've looked at the unboxing of Epic Tarot, Fairy Lights, and I've also now got the Shadowscape. So let's have a look at the Shadowscape, because that's what we're pairing our decks with today. Now I know a lot of people, they like to just do, when they're showing the combination of cards, they might show just doing one card or two cards, but what I like to do is to do an actual reading. So the first thing we're going to do is, okay, what do we need to know about today? What do we need to know about today? Let's just do a quick 3-card reading, and then I'm going to pull out one of the decks, one of the oracle decks that I've got here. Now I could use this in a combination of decks. Maybe I use a Kipper deck or a Lenormand or a Sibylla deck that has that sort of fairy quality to it. We've got a lot of decks that sort of create that energy around them in the themes and that sort of thing, you know, in the imagery. But I like to do is use an oracle deck. Now I've got a few oracle decks here that I could use. Now let's have a look first. Let's grab my glasses so I can actually see. Let's have a look and see what today's message is. Today's message, okay, we've got Queen of Pentacles. Now Queen of Pentacles is someone who arrives in your life, or maybe it's a part of you, who is generous and kind, who's organized, who brings a practical approach to one's health or finances, security in one's life. Maybe there's a sense of nurturing one's journey in some way, one's physical journey in some way. Then we've got the Magician, which tells us to look beyond the illusion. We use our, look beyond the surface. Maybe something's happening behind the scenes that we're not quite seeing. Maybe this is about using your skills or your abilities or your tools to manifest your reality on some level. Second last card here, third card here, we have Nine of Swords. Now Nine of Swords is, to me, is a nightmare card. Is that stress, that worry, asking for support. Maybe you're feeling overwhelmed in that. So you're feeling stressed and overwhelmed right at the moment, right? And so you are in this moment of needing someone to support you in some way. So you're sort of getting someone to come in and nurture your well-being because you're feeling stressed and overwhelmed, and you've been sort of asked to use your abilities to maybe ask for some help. Maybe you've been asked to look beyond the illusion. Now it's time to sort of dive into why you're feeling stressed and worried in some way. So let's use Healers of the Earth to start with. This is a deck I love. This was a indie deck, a Kickstarter that you can get from her website. Now to get the guidebook, it is important that you purchase a deck directly from her. Okay, now she does use a barcode on the back of her decks. Okay, they are barcodes, and they're from mysticmandy.com, and it's Emerald House Publishing. So that's the only way to get her decks. Right, so let's have a look and see what message do we get in regards to this reading. Okay, so we've got this generosity, someone who gives a real practical approach to one's journey. And you've got that sense of looking beyond the illusion, because you're stressed and worried with what's going on. So let's have a look and see what Healers of the Earth have got to say. Okay, Healers of the Earth tells us, okay, there feels like there's an event that's unforeseen, like there's something going on that we're not quite seeing the bigger picture. Okay, so something's going on, we're not able to see the bigger picture of the situation. So it's interesting, because then it's time to look at the higher perspective of it, it's time to look from the bigger picture, stop being so narrow-minded, stop trying to focus on what you're worrying about, and let's see the bigger picture of what's going on here. Maybe it's about asking for help, maybe it's feeling very unknowable and determined. So, stop worrying about what could happen instead of being in the now. Feels like you're focusing on the future instead of being in the now. Don't they look amazing together, those decks? So it feels like there's a lot of stuff that's stressing you out. It's time to ask for some help. It's unknown of what lies ahead, and so it's time to sort of focus on the moment. Focus on the now. Focus on what you can do instead of what you cannot. Ooh, I love that. That is kind of cool. That is so beautiful together. Okay, I love that. I mean, remember, there's no right and wrong combination pairing when you're pairing decks. I think this is such a personal choice in what decks you pair together. So let's do another reading in, okay. Let's have a look at what's happening mentally. Okay, what's happening emotionally, what's happening physically, okay, what's happening mentally, emotionally, physically, and energetically. And then I'm going to use the Enchanted Map Oracle to look at to see what's happening. I like 2 cards for that one. There. Okay, so let's have a look. What's happening mentally? Mentally, I get 6 of Pentacles. And so there's that sense of, maybe there's a perception. Feels like there's a perception of how much you're giving away of yourself. Are you able to find a sense of harmonious energy? Are you able, mentally, are you able to feel like things are in harmony? Or do you feel like you're giving too much of yourself away mentally? Okay, emotionally. 5 of Pentacles. Okay, so emotionally, do you feel like you, poor little old me? Emotionally, you're feeling like, oh my God, everyone's out to get me, sort of energy. That's what I'm getting here. Emotionally, you feel like everyone's sort of out to get you. That's what's going on here. Now this may or may not, there may be another thing is like, poor little old me. Maybe I'm being led to, emotionally being led to other aspects. Maybe I'm going to be led out of the cold, so to speak. Okay, physically, I've got 10 of Cups, which tells me that physically everything's going to be a-okay. Feels like everything's going to be all right. Feels like there's a sense of wholeness physically. Okay, and energetically, we've got the World. We've got a shift in our own spiritual energy. It feels like we're looking at our achievement. You know, what have we achieved spiritually and or energetically, and where are we moving on to? There's a new cycle, new possibility to that. Okay, so let's look at the okay. So we've got Bone Collector and Wide Open. So it definitely feels like you're opening your heart to all possibilities overall. What do I keep getting as Bone Collector? I do get that casting, and I know there's more to the Bone Collector, and this is the one where this is the one card. It's quite interesting. Okay, you are whole and have everything you need with that. So it's telling me that really, again, I get that sense of wholeness, that achievement. Everything's sort of coming together. You know, it's about opening your heart to all possibilities as everything sort of comes together in divine timing. Everything's going to happen as it is. If you can open your heart, surrender to what is, everything's going to happen in divine timing, basically in all areas of your life. Kind of interesting. They work out really beautifully together. They look amazing. Those cards look really cool together. So yeah, I think you can be really, so I just wanted to show you that, those cards. Now, let's just pull a card. Okay, a card for reflection for today. What card are we going to reflect on today? And we get the Wheel of Fortune. So we've got life's ups and downs. We might feel like we're on a bit of I'm going to use Mists of Avalon. And so we have this Wheel of Fortune, right? So life's ups and downs, we feel like we're going around in a circle. Maybe there's decisions yet to be made. There's good fortune. Everything seems to be moving out okay, even though there might be some challenges in life. Overall, things are good. Right, so let's have a look and see what the Mists of Avalon have to say. Okay, Mists of Avalon, we get Gallard, and we get Triumph. So there's that success and victory. We've got surrender. We got purity. So there's sort of like a cleansing energy to bring into the sense of innocence, if you like. And courage. Having a sense of courage. But let's have a look and see what it says in the book. So here we've got this Wheel of Fortune. Good fortune. Everything seems to be going okay. But it boils down to a sense of courage. A sense of triumph, success. So 24, let's have a look. Let's see what it says. Triumph, purity, courage, and surrender. You're encouraged to evolve to greater luminous heights. The vibration you contribute in this life creates the magical outcome you desire and is your reward. You've sat comfortably on the sidelines long enough. Stand up, rise to the occasion, and breathe life into your soul's journey. It is time for you to do, be, have, and experience all that your soul has been waiting for you to discover. Your new course of action may feel uncomfortable at first, but persevere and keep stepping forward. Signs and signals will appear along the way to guide you in the next destination. It is your time to make a decision. Stop procrastinating, prepare yourself, and begin your quest today. I focus on action. That's very interesting with the sense of having to make decisions, life's ups and downs, being able to sort of move forward into a new cycle of your journey here. That is kind of interesting. I like that. And I think they sort of go quite well. That's sort of a good message there. Okay, so take a moment, take a breath. Okay, Page of Cups. So you've got that getting into alignment, maybe feeling sensitive to your emotions. With the High Priestess, trusting your intuition. Okay, you're sensitive to your emotions. Maybe you're feeling hurt or wounded. So you need to trust your intuition in this situation. So let's see what the fairy forest has to say. Now I think this sort of gives it a bit of a darker feel. So we've got the ancient, interesting, with elder experience and lessons. So here you've got the sense of being hurt. Okay, so what lessons can you learn from that? What experiences have you had from this? Being hurt, being out of alignment, being like you're feeling sensitive to your emotions. How can you, what's your experience in trusting your own intuition, in being able to look at what you're learning in this situation? Kind of interesting there. They work out really, really well as well. So it's interesting to see these decks. I mean, you could use any tarot, any oracle deck with the Shadowscape Tarot. It doesn't have to be fairy, but that's sort of what I wanted to use. So, of course, the last one here we have is Brian Proud's oracle deck, Fairy Oracle. So let's have a look. I'm going to do this one first. What? Okay. Number 21. Let's read that. Number 21. Okay, this is the fairy who was kissed by the pixies. This is love given, love received, metaphorical open heart surgery. Okay, so let's see if we can see what the message is. Oh wow, what can I say here? Love, sweet love. Accept it, burnish it up, add to it and pass it on. The presence of the fairy who was kissed by the pixies suggests giving and receiving love and intimacy in any of the wide variety of relationships. She gives notice that this is a time to open and heal our hearts. Different aspects of life may well be flowing happily together. Healing, separations and hurts from the past. Bonding may take place and deep feelings emerge. Changes for the better may occur in all aspects of life, but especially in relationships, which may be deepening or becoming richer. You may be experiencing love therapy for opening the heart as new relationships begin and old ones develop. Enjoy. Okay, so we've got relationships, right, that are developing or growing, coming into fruition. So let's have a look and see what the Shadowscape. So tell us a little bit more about this card. Tell us a little bit more about the fairy who was kissed by pixies, opening the heart, relationships and things going on in one's life. 1, 2, just do 3. I like to keep it as simple as possible. I don't want to get too complicated with too many cards. The less cards, if you're asking one question, it's better to do as little cards as possible. Okay, so we've got the fairy who was kissed by the pixies, opening your heart, developing into the relationship further. So let's have a look. What have we got? 2 of Cups, connections. 2 of Pentacles, what's important in the relationship? What's the most important part of the relationship? What are you juggling with in the relationship? And 4 of Cups, wow, stability and foundations of the relationship. 4 of Cups is also that sense of maybe you're feeling dissatisfied or bored within the relationship. Maybe you're not quite seeing the bigger picture of it. Okay, it's telling me that the relationship's developing, right? It's growing. But it's important that you open your heart to it. So there is definitely a connection in the relationship of some way, but it's important to work out what's important. Maybe you're feeling a little bit dissatisfied within the relationship, and so some changes need to take place. Okay, some changes do need to take place within the relationship. It's about finding a sense of balance, building foundations, trying to create a sense of stability in the relationship as well. So that's an interesting combination of cards. So that works out really well as well. Oh, I love these cards. Yeah, so there's lots of ways to explore this deck, and I'm sure I'm going to find more and more decks that I can work with, or maybe another different tarot deck, depending on what people want when they want a reading. So you can choose any combination of decks I've got from my Libib library, of course. Or, you know, if you book a reading with me, let me know what, if you want the Shadowscape Tarot, tell me what Oracle deck you want me to work with, or what another tarot deck you want me to work with. Just whatever, or Kipper, or Leninmand. Lots and lots of different decks to work with. Okay, so that's it from me. Don't forget, check the links down below, check the links on my channel, like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you know when the next video will be uploaded. And a big thank you to my Ko-Fi family and supporters. Take care.